a group calling themselves Occupy ICE has been assaulting ICE offices in Portland, Oregon. After over a week of this nonsense, the federal government had had enough.
Do you remember Occupy Wall Street? I know, few people do. During the Obama administration, a group of malcontents decided to protest the backbone of our economy. Claiming Wall Street, i.e., the New York Stock Exchange, was evil and corrupt, they set up a smelly camp outside to shame them. Except, due to national security, they were camped streets away at a private park. And after months of drama and press, they accomplished nothing. Like so many liberal movements, Occupy was only about stirring up dissent. It was yet another photo op for liberals who simply seek the spotlight. Since President Donald Trump's election, we've seen no end of pointless, tiresome, and ultimately terrible demonstrations. Gun control advocates marched for their lives. Feminists marched to protest the president. But these are all just political stunts for attention. Last year we saw seriously deadly riots in the form of Disrupt J20 and the Berkeley protests. Antifa, among others, use violence to oppose political views they don't like. Much like fascists do. Since the media has been distorting the crisis at the border trying to generate sympathy for illegal aliens, liberals are at it again. Occupy ICE has started. I guess they didn't get the memo about Occupy Wall Street. Just slapping Occupy to your movement doesn't give it credibility. Considering history, it gives it less. Regardless, stupid people have been gathering outside the offices of federal agencies, thinking they can shame these officers of the law into not doing their job. In Portland, a land of fairies and idiots, they sieged the ICE building for 9 days. Our federal government decided that was long enough. Federal officers in riot gear stormed the protest and arrested these social justice warriors. Federal officers in riot gear moved into the protest siege of ICE headquarters in southwest Portland at 5:30 a.m. Thursday. At approximately 5:30 a.m. today, federal law enforcement officers initiated a law enforcement action to reopen the federal facility at 4310 Southwest Macadam Avenue in Portland, Federal Protective Service spokesman Robert Sperling said in a prepared statement. Officers were clearing the entrance to the building but taking no action against a large number of protesters who have set up a camp along the building. The Occupy ICE PDX protest is in its second week. Thursday is the 9th day the Portland ICE office has been closed because of the protests. Source: KGW8. I'm not sure why they thought sieging a federal building was a good idea. Protesting doesn't get you very much in our day and age. Occupy Wall Street proved one thing: stockbrokers don't give a crap about protesters. Not once was there any sign that corruption within the stock exchange was being thwarted. To date, hedge fund managers are as rich as ever.
The only people who might be swayed by protests are politicians. Protests give the impression that many people are concerned over an issue. That might convince a politician that if they don't do what the group demands, they'll be voted out of office. But given social media, modern polling, and breakneck news coverage, protesting doesn't carry the same weight as it once did.
You can march all you want to ban assault rifles, but that won't convince politicians to change their views. And protesting outside the officers of one of the toughest law enforcement agencies in America? Good job, dumbasses.
ICE is tasked with apprehending illegal aliens who will stop at nothing to stay in this country. They endured all kinds of hardships to flee Mexico and other nations. You better believe they'll fight tooth and nail not to be deported. And that's not even mentioning what MS-13 would do.
Does any liberal really think their siege was going to change anything? That the men and women who've sworn to protect the United States would be shamed by a few smelly hippies? These Occupy people must be dreaming.
But let's be honest, even with police in riot gear clearing the way, these dummies won't learn. They'll be moved from the building, but their stupidity will go on. They are empty-headed buffoons who allow their emotions to dictate their opinions and politics. Which is why, in the end, they will always lose.